My name's Jared. I sing for Head PE, and we're gonna be coming to Australia in February 2026, and playing only tracks from the Broke record, which is the record that came out in the year 2000 and gave me a career.
Yeah, hell yeah, brother. Well, I'm glad it did because it means we're still here today talking.
Fuck yeah!
Fuck
It's all
yeah.
I know. I have no other skills.
You only need one when you do it well.
Right.
So
There you
as you know,
go.
man, Head PE returned to Australia with Non-Point this February for a run of shows starting in Sydney on the 6th. You go through Brisbane, Melbourne, Perth, finish Adelaide on the 11th. Then you go over to New Zealand for shows in Auckland on the 13th and Wellington the night after. Like, it only seems like 6 months since you were here last, mate. Like, Australia either loves you or you love Australia. Which one is it?
Wow, I think it's mutual. It's a love affair, you know. But I think it's been more like 9 months, maybe even 10. But who's counting? I'm glad. I'm just glad to make it. I'm just glad to make it back and rock out because we always have such a good time there.
Yeah. Now we'll start talking a little bit about the album Broke, but before we start talking about it, I'll just ask you a question about the title. Like, is it in reference because the band was broke at the time, or is it reference to actually being broken?
Both.
Both.
That's why we like the title is because it could mean more than one thing.
Yeah.
So it meant the obvious thing of empty pockets and empty bank account, but it also meant, feeling broke and insecure and all that type of shit too when you're like a drug addict and all that.
Mhm. Yeah,
But feeling broke makes good music.
yeah, it does. Now you said you're going to be playing that album in full, which is great, but how did you go relearn it? Like when you made that album, I can't imagine you sat there and went, "I'm going to play this front to back one day." Like was there any difficulties learning the whole thing?
Yeah, definitely. No, it wasn't difficult, but Head PE, we kind of like uh we've got some really long songs. So sometimes in the live setting, we do more of like, a medley so we can play a bunch of shit.
Mhm.
So I imagine when the show comes out, there'll be some songs played in full, some songs that we just touch on, but we want to make it, exciting for people. Rather than we've got some tricks that we're going to be doing. It's different, it's 25 years later, so it's got more of a straight ahead thrashy punk rock vibe now than it did then.
Oh man, nice. And that album is recognized as being one of the defining moments of the new metal genesis, I suppose, and growth. Like, do you agree with that?
Well, that's not for me to say, is it? That's
Oh, it
for
is. You
others
made
to
it.
say. Yeah, so as an artist, it's hard. Well, for me, I can't really comment on things like that. I think it's best for someone else to make that comment.
Mhm. Yeah, true. All right, well, you can answer this one then. Like, could you feel that there was something special about it in the writing and recording process?
Huh, that's a good question. Um, huh, I think so. We really liked the record, but I'm sure we really liked the one before it too.
True.
I mean, but what I do know is that the record company spent the right amount of money to like, get the record in front of people and get it on the radio and stuff. So we knew that was coming.
Yeah.
You never know how people are going to receive it.
Yeah, true, true. So along those lines, like the first album was more hardcore punk and hip hop, but when you came around to that one, you brought some classic rock and some world music influence into it. Like, did you just stumble upon that and say, yeah, we'll see how it goes, or did you sit down and sort of think, how can we improve it?
Yeah, it wasn't really done consciously. It was just kind of the natural evolution of the band. We were just kind of, you know, our my songwriting was getting better just from doing it more. and learning. So on the first record, my songwriting abilities were pretty shit.
It was pretty experimental back then, mate. So it was also somewhat of a risk. But how long after the album came out did you sort of sit back and think, fuck, people are actually starting to get into this sound? It might just work.
Well, yeah, because Bartender had a run at radio, and next thing you know, we're just playing sold out shows all over the planet. So, but that wave kind of ended pretty quickly. But what was great is then when we entered into the underground and still had another hit with Renegade. But Broke is the one though that put us on the map.
Yeah. Yeah. And why do you think that is?
I think there was the timing of it. Um, you know, it's a great question. I think the timing that it came out just pushed some buttons with some of the teenagers on the planet. My honest vocals, pulling no punches and kind of like, just telling stories about heartbreak and how I saw society and stuff. I think people resonated with people at that time.
Mhm. And you mentioned the lyrics, bro. Like that's an important fact. Like you wrote and recorded that 25 years ago. So did relearning it bring back any hard or painful memories from the time?
Well, I'm not one of these guys that has no regrets. I have like a huge book of regrets.
Mhm.
So when I hear some of the lyrics, I do regret them. There's some like really kind of just aggressive, misogynistic kind of lyrics because I was going through some heartbreak at the time. So if I could go back, I'd change some of that shit. But I've changed. 25 years. It's a quarter fucking century. My entire life has changed except for the fact that I'm still rocking out.
Mhm. Actually, Ray, it's a good point though, bro. Like you talk about that aggressiveness and misogynistic and all the stuff that was you back then, but now you've actually got to sing that again now. Like does it feel weird singing it when you're not that person anymore?
No,
No?
it really does not. It really does not because kind of like looking at, pictures of yourself as a child or in high school. It's like it's fun to reminisce. And I've been playing those songs the last 25 fucking years.
You'd be used to it by now then.
A lot of them. A lot of them I've never stopped playing.
Yeah, no. Of course, you bring in the fabulous non-point with you as well, bro, who haven't been here for over 6 years. So it's a logical question, a logical answer, but why did you choose them as touring partners? You guys would be great together, I reckon.
Well, because those guys are our pals, and in the States, they're much bigger than we are, and they take us on the road.
Okay,
So
so
it's a returning the favor.
must feel good to be able to do shit like that, eh? Like with any, like on our smaller level down here, when you return the favor to a mate, it's like you get that, but taking your mates to another fucking country to return a favor, that's pretty special, bro.
I like it. I like the idea of it.
Very good. All right, mate. Well, I know you got a few more to do, so I'm not going to monopolise your time. But HED are back in Australia from February. Tickets are selling well, so don't wait till then to get one. Get your missus one for Christmas. We'll see you in Brisbane.
Oh, dude, thank you so much, bro. You
No
have a
worries.
great day, man.
I'll go, mate.